So when people are looking at tackling YouTube and getting started, they're like, "Well, where do I get started?" So that's why we're going to throw a workshop, Darlene. We're going to throw an in-person workshop, give them give them some handouts so they can um start planning their first like 13 episode season, right? And then we'll give them the ability to book follow-up sessions with me where we can like flush it out. Um, because there's going to be people who've, started, they've got random Instagram videos or TikTok videos or maybe audio only podcasts that they've been working on for a couple years and they haven't really ported it over to YouTube. Then you ask them why. It's because somebody's given them advice to not move it over to YouTube, or they just technically just don't know how to. So a lot of there's just a lot of people with a lot of tech questions, but once you ask them in-depth questions on why they haven't got started or what's stopping them, um, you need to get their excuses out of them and get them into. So we had YouTube training this week, and it was interesting because Julie dropped off, and then I led the discussion with somebody else who's like a
Let's
YouTuber.
clarify this. Let's clarify. We were put into breakout rooms, and I wasn't in the same one as Mike. And then it was almost at the hour, and I went back to the main room, and there was nobody there. So I left. Mike comes in like an hour later. It's like, how long were you on the call? I'm like, I don't know, till the hour. And then there's nobody in the main room. He's like, oh, a bunch of us went back. And Mike hosted the rest of the event because the main lady was gone. So Mike talked for another half an hour with another guy. And I guess they kept everybody else except for me in that room. So
Well,
that's actually what happened.
well, The we were having a really good discussion in our breakout room. And nobody wanted to leave it, and then we were just all kicked out of it. And we're like, "Well, is it over yet?" And nobody was there's like 60, 70 of us in the group at when the breakout sessions stopped. So we just kept talking about it's 2026 and everyone who's a creator is like, you're it's 2026. You're looking for inspiration. Like, do you keep doing what you're doing with your channel? Do you go back and ja, episode, everyone who's making content, regardless if you're monetized or not, some is like, how often are you posting? And we're sharing crib notes very much. Some people are. There was a lady with the parrot, and she just records her parrot talking. So her whole Facebook or her whole YouTube channel content is literally when her parrot starts to talk, she keeps entertaining him, feeding him, whatever she needs to do. She puts on the camera and the tripod, and she goes live on YouTube. So she was, well, how do I expand on this content? And people are like, well, hey, I would watch a parrot talking on YouTube. Like, how often do you do this? She's like, well, so we were trying to like, brainstorm some ideas with her because obviously the parrot is not consistent. So, and she was, and she was discussing her challenges because when she posts the content to TikTok, people steal it and they claim it as their own. And of course, she's in Canada, and Canadians on TikTok can't get monetized, but Americans can get monetized. So you always have this dilemma when you're a content creator is what type of content do I make? Where do I put it? And am I going to get paid by all the platforms I put it onto, right? So it can be, she was looking for suggestions. We were kind of giving her some suggestions, but it's really the fet,
Well, your
she,
daughter had the best solution, which I don't think anybody suggested to her.
oh, probably not because we're all sitting in a breakout room, like, what are we doing to revamp our content for 2026? And it's like, well, hey, at least you got, I've
Our
played with
daughter's
the
not our daughter's not monetized, but she is very popular and has already had
Well,
people
she should
duplicate
be
and steal
monetized, but
hers.
she's legally under the age for monetization, so YouTube keeps changing it on her. So
Well, I
she's
don't think
getting
she's had the watch
she's
hour.
getting real good experience with being frustrated because she should have been monetized already. But of course, when she hit the monetization threshold, and we have no photo ID to upload for her to prove she's of legal age to be monetized. So we're in that.
Well, anyways, her solution is putting the watermark on all the videos, which then, because my thought, especially if you do end up with a situation like the lady with her content stolen or even Penelope's, even if they do decide to steal it with the watermark, they're still promoting it back to you, the main person. So I guess in something like in TikTok, if you are Canadian, since we can't make money off of it, it doesn't really harm you by them stealing it, but you really want to make sure you get credit. So if they ever go investigate it, the path leads back to you. So other people might be able to make money off of your content, but you want your content to still link back to you,
Well,
and that
I
would be the
came up,
watermark,
yes.
right?
So she explained in that situation, she filed a complaint with TikTok, and TikTok wants her to gave the person who stole her content, they gave her the original content creator's email address, and they've been fighting it out over email, which I'm like, well, that's kind of I came up with this suggestion after the whole like I was no longer talking to her at this point, but I was thinking, well, if somebody's promoting your stuff, um, you should, is it that's imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, right? So if I said that right. There's always people sharing your message if you can find a way to monetize that. Like, hey, you can keep stuff, but I want a percentage. Or like there's got to be some way where you can leverage somebody else's because the whole point of YouTube University is grow your like we know you're gonna have known audiences and unknown audience or the hidden audience, right? So how are we gonna grow your audience? Well, we got to start with content and share that content and then find other people's audiences to leverage. So
You need to share the story of the guy who got that massive deal, but he didn't seem like people weren't watching or whatever. And it was like then he had the deal on the wasabi and stuff like that you were telling me about.
okay, yes, your unknown audience because this is why me and this guy went and chatted for led a discussion in the call a half hour after it was supposed to end. So, um, there's a guy on YouTube. I don't know what his channel name is, but he makes custom knives and he also does custom wasabi. So I'm not didn't know those were things. So I was like, hey, this is why I meet other content creators so I can learn what they're filming and what they're selling. So I think there must be, if he's selling wasabi, I'm assuming they're custom Japanese knives. But he's like, typically you sell one knife at a time. So you just make content about your process of knife making. And you sell one knife at a time. And I've been doing this for years, selling one knife, maybe two knives at a time. And then one day the guy who's managing his store, e-commerce store, reached out and said, "Hey, we just had an order for $15,000 worth of knives." He's like, "Do you think this is a scam?" He's like, "Well, did the credit card clear?" "Oh yeah, the credit card's good. Do we ship the $15,000 worth of knives to him? Like it's an address in Laguna Beach, California." He's like, "Okay, sure." And then there was another order for like a huge order for custom wasabi, which was sent to another California address. And these addresses weren't on their system, so they're like, and then he remembered that a little bit before that, I don't know what time frame, a couple days, a couple weeks, there was this somebody who this knife creator is also on Patreon, which is another platform. And he had somebody from a another California address, similar area, sign up for the Patreon. And so he's like, who is this guy who can just go buy $15,000 worth of knives, buy my custom wasabi, get like who are these people? And then he started looking it up to find out like the three addresses were all owned by the same, corporation. So he's like, and then I'm like, oh, that's an example of your invisible audience. Somebody who's been watching, like your somebody in your audience who's watching you and you've never met them. and they were ready to buy your stuff, right? They're setting up a new business restaurant. They built a new custom house, whatever they were ready to make their order, and they went and placed an order, and you don't know who they are, right? But all those orders, so we had this nice discussion on YouTube, the partner, the weekly training about well, you're building audiences, and you may have met people in your audience, you may not, and then there's gonna like you're gonna have your Facebook and your Instagram, and like wherever you're posting your social stuff, those are all audiences. You may have met these people face to face, you may not, but the reason we're making content is to keep them engaged and, don't expect likes, comments, and shares, but encourage that stuff, ask for that stuff, and then just see what the results are. So it
I
was,
think the summary is really you don't know where your next client, sales, or any of that's from. As long as you exist, people will see you. And that's the point. You will be seen. You just don't know which of those ends might be that $15,000 contract or that next person who's going to sign up, right? And if you aren't putting out the signal to be found, they're not going to find you. That's kind of the point in of how I think of that. What do you think, Mike?
yeah, 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 no, it was just funny because, we were chatting at the end of this call, and there's one guy named Roberto. He was really leading it. The guy brought up the knife and the wasabi story, and then I was explaining the invisible audience, and then the main guy who was running it, he was like, "Oh, how did you know this?" And I was like, "Well, I have a lot of I've read a lot of books. I got a lot of experience. I'm self-employed, and all these you're just always looking for more audience, and how do you attract that audience? You're making content." So we had, it was interesting to have this conversation because again, what's your posting schedule like? Is it monthly, daily, weekly? There's a lot of creators who made a lot of stuff, and now they're only doing like, but they've built a huge audience, and now they're only posting like once a month or something like that. And like we were having this chat with them earlier this week about like what's driving you to make the content, and you know are you comfortable with the amount you're posting right now? Is there something blocking you from posting more? We're just a bunch of YouTubers sitting in this meeting and just sharing our notes because some have had a really easy time growing thousands and thousands of followers, and a lot of other people struggle. So where's that struggle coming from? Like, there's got to be, is it that struggle exists for a particular reason? And how do we get over it? I get over it by attending the YouTube meetings because there's a lot of features in YouTube that you wouldn't know as a YouTube creator exist until you meet other people implementing those features and testing out. How often should how long do you go live? How often should you be doing it? Should you there's a feature where you can make your own swag store on YouTube and put up, t-shirts, and well, what you can design whatever type of swag you want, and it's promoted during your channel. Some people do that and have had great success with it. Other people haven't really done it and don't know where to get started, but it's, learn what's possible and then spend the time to practice and apply those skills, and then see what is, no brand is built overnight. It takes 10,000, it takes a lot of sweat equity to you know make videos, upload them, title them. We've chatted in the past about thumbnails, and we were having this, com in this YouTube training, we're having this conversation about, well, how often do you change your thumbnails? And some people don't even use thumbnails, and they still have tons of tens and hundreds of thousands of subscribers without custom thumbnails. But it might just, every person's different. Their audience is going to be different, and we just have to learn to make content and learn what we like and what we don't like about the platform, and learn from each other. So, and I did learn something super interesting that because they're implementing more and more AI stuff into YouTube, I've had a bunch of people come to me say, "Hey, I've got an audio only podcast, and I don't want to redo it, and I don't want to add video to it." And my suggestion was always to just upload it as audio only, maybe throw a background up on it, make a thumbnail for it, and just if you're already making this content, this audio only podcast, and putting it up on Apple Podcasts and putting it up on Spotify and wherever else podcasts go, if you're already doing that work, just upload a copy to YouTube and promote it and just see what the re and just see what the re and just see what the reaction is, right? Because we're just learning this process of making your content and putting it everywheres. And this new friend I have, Roberto, who was in this YouTube call, he's like, "Oh, well," he's like, "Did you hear what you can now do with audio only podcasts? If you plug them into YouTube, you have the option of YouTube will make you using using their AI video generator engine called VO3, or it's also called Flow. Um, it will actually make you an animated story, an AI animated story based off an audio podcast. And it's like, okay, well, that's interesting. I've got a couple people I can go and tell them. I don't know if they're gonna like that answer or if they're gonna like that suggestion or not, because not everybody likes AI stuff, but a lot of creators embrace it. So I'm like, interesting. New features all the time over at YouTube in the YouTube tools. And um, I told this guy I met that he should, I don't think YouTube gives us training, but I don't think they're making detailed training for all these new features that they're adding in. And you have to be a real nerd and read all the YouTube newsletters and go explore all these updates because it's not something I would know about. Well, I should know about it, but I don't go. I spend my time doing other things. But I said, hey, that's a great idea for you. Is to go, Roberto. You should go and make all these videos documenting all these new features on YouTube. And he's like, oh, hey, that's a really good idea for 2026. So I told him I'd reach out to him because if he's in California, or maybe he wants to, come join us in this class and teach us something that we don't know. So stay tuned because I've inviting more and more people to this class, and I think the Facebook group blew up a little bit this week because we surpassed 200 members. I just need to encourage them to now start, since they're in the Facebook group, to come show up to the meetings on Saturdays, and we'll get them started. So, good morning, everybody. How's the two Davids doing? Thumbs up. Okay. I'm going to, I th okay. Let's
Yeah,
see.
we've got three scripts now,
Yeah.
and I'm in the process of putting up, I'll call it a basic website.
Okay.
And, so that's going to be the two things we start with is the YouTube videos, which we'll also have on the website. And yeah, and, we'll work on getting the website better over time, but it will be pretty crude to start.
It's a start. This is why a lot of people like using AI tools now for websites. So as long as it's public facing, as long as you test it before you make it public. Because um, I've done websites for like 20, a long time since university. So in the 1990s, I was built. That's kind of how that YouTube chat went sideways as we started talking about our ages and, if anybody remembers making websites before YouTube existed. So we had a fun chat during the
Like,
YouTube.
you could tell them about how insulted you were by Meta. Do you remember yesterday?
Yes, don't even bring that up. I went on Facebook yesterday and
We've shown
Meta.
examples about how they'll use our pictures to sell us the products, right?
Well, it's not to sell. It's not to sell us a product. It's to sell us that we should be using Meta AI
That's a
to make
product
more
right
posts.
there. I'm
To
just
make
saying
more
that's a
posts.
product.
To make more posts. So Meta AI suggested I post a photo, and it was me um in front of the truck and trailer, but the AI version of me was an old man. And it's like it aged me like 20 some years. And I was like, I'm gonna take a screenshot. I am not posting this photo because I didn't, no offense to being older, but I'm like, it made me look like I'm like, yes, I'm not that old. I'm not posting that. At least when I made an AI version of Julie's photo, it did not make her look old. So I was offended that Facebook's AI suggested I post a photo of myself looking like a senior citizen. I'm like, no, I'm not doing
You know, we
that.
might start taking AI as honesty is, when children are really brutally honest when they're little, is AI now telling us our
You know what?
brutal honesty?
That would actually be super funny. That would be super funny. I'm got as I've been saying for a couple of weeks I was gonna go show you how to do Sora videos from the desktop because Sora is ChatGPT, OpenAI's video tool, so you can use it on I've posted a bunch on my Facebook and I think I've put them up on my YouTube and the AI videos always get way more views than my normal videos, not suggesting I'm suggesting you should just play with all the tools out there and just see what you like using as a storyteller to make content. You can do them for your brand. You can do, it doesn't really matter what you're making the videos of as long as you're practicing your skills. And what was my other I was gonna say I don't know what I was gonna say about AI video, but oh no, I've noticed. I've talked to a bunch of people recently, and they're like, "Why is it that the AI videos always get more views?" And I'm like, maybe the algorithm's pushing them more, or maybe you just make more AI videos than your normal videos, so your AI videos get more views.
Well,
Like,
we know because there's a new one that's taken over in the last couple weeks. So you might be aware silver has really started to explode. It was the highest I don't know, returned asset for 2025. Anyways, this Asian guy's come out of nowhere and his YouTube channel is called like Boring Currency. And now I've seen all these other people make like versions of the exact same avatar. 'Cause when I first showed Mike, we were discussing, is he AI? I'm like, well, I followed somebody else. They mentioned he looks AI. I'm like, I think he might be AI. I know for sure the screen he's showing is something he's made that's AI. But this guy, like, he's super monotone. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's AI. And Mike's like, well, they've got convincing eye movements. What came up recently, because I've been watching his videos on the silver, and he made a comment, or whoever's running this account made the comment in the video, but of course you see it as this Asian male, said that all of his content's being copied, the avatar's being copied, so they kind of admitted it was AI, that even the avatar and the entire persona was being copied, and again they were duplicating silver information. But, they were saying, like, I don't know if this guy or whoever's copying them has done the same research. Whatever. Here or there, doesn't really matter. It was just very interesting because it was a whole debate on whether this new content creator was AI or not. And it is AI, but it's that convincing. And that's probably why. And I also found it was interesting because I started seeing them as somebody else who I'm following started seeing them. And then another person I'm following started seeing them. So obviously, this AI content called Boring Currency, maybe we're all following, me and the other people that I'm following were already following this type of content. That's why we all saw this brand new creator out of nowhere because I've never seen him before. No one else has seemed to see them that I've followed. So where did this AI creator come from? Why is this content showing up? There's the puzzle pieces where it makes you go, why is that showing up on everybody? Was it just timing that this guy comes out with this content and everybody was interested in silver and he's making it at the same time? Was that all timing? Then you can go down the woo hole where some people started thinking about like conspiracies of like if you've gone down the hole of Q and stuff and that they're trying to drop truth through this AI avatar. So I don't even know where to go. However, the point is I found it very interesting that this guy came out of nowhere. He's clearly doing AI content and is already being copied and already ripped off, and I've maybe only seen him since the beginning of January, right? So it's only been a couple of weeks that this guy have even come into my radar and most people I followed. So that has been a very interesting perspective.
Well, it's timing. It's also that people are going to share stuff. And if you're sharing content that is, you know, hot at that particular moment, you have no idea what type of legs it's going to have and how far it's going to run. Um, like I know that I don't really post that much on Facebook compared to a lot of other people. Depending on how my weeks, depending on my mental status and how I'm doing that week, with everything else in my life. However, you'll see there's people who jump on certain waves, right? So the silver wave or something going on with politics or whatever. And they may not have had traction before, but they've been consistently posting, and then they post something, and then it's going to get shared, or a lot of people are going to follow that type of format or whatever. So, there's a ton of people I follow on Facebook, and I can see what they do. It's like literally one person, something will come up, whether it's the silver or Minnesota daycare scandal, or this week it was Tony Robbins interviewing Alex Hormozy, right? And they're just literally posting and posting and posting, and then other people are literally sharing that post and they're tagging the original poster, right? Why are they doing that? They're doing that in order to gain leverage and show up in everybody's feeds, and then they're like, "Hey, look what I did. I shared somebody else's post." And that's more so of a thing you're going to gamify on like Facebook and maybe other platforms, but I'm sure they've shared that stuff over, made videos and shared it over on YouTube. I'm just literally not following them on YouTube, but I'm following them on Facebook. Um, and then they'll show how many views that they got, and Facebook pays them for all that stuff, so they're monetized on Facebook. Um, all that timing with or the effort with finding something, sharing something from somebody who's got a million followers or whatever. You might get paid 25, 35, $40 for reposting something or borrowing somebody else's content. So that's the way people build their audiences. The guy Julie's talking about, I don't know where he came from, but obviously they're talking about silver, and everybody's in a silver frenzy right now because it went from a low price, unexpected high price right now. So that's going to lead.
As
That's
per
good.
the silver person, we're not in the frenzy yet, Mike.
No, no, I
No,
know, but
you're already calling it
but
too early.
a lot of people. So what I'm doing with that is when people are posting about silver, I'm just like, I go into their comments and I'm like, hey, welcome to the club. Like I'm just, I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I don't really want to share your stuff because I don't really want to share it, but I'm gonna go and tag you, or I'm gonna go leave a comment or tag you so you follow me, just so. I'm just that internet troll. I'm like, hey, I like like-minded individuals, so if they're posting something about silver, then I like them even more. And they've obviously been following it for a while because they likely have it. So it's just one of those, you find all these little kind of I don't know, groups of people that you'll want to follow just to see if you like all the stuff that they post or not, because then maybe you can build up. I got so many Facebook follow friends that want me. I can't accept them because I'm already at 5K friends and over 6,000 followers on Facebook. So I'm like, people can follow me, but my friends are maxed out, but I want to make sure that I'm riding all those, if I don't know who you are and I'm kind of down in your st visiting or driving through your state, I'm just building up my um sphere of influence by following. I'm like, oh, I didn't know this person existed before that, but they posted about silver, so I'm gonna go f follow them and tag them and then drop them a DM and see how cool they might be. Or not cool. We don't know until I reach out to them. So, and that's why it's cool to go on those YouTube things because there's YouTube creators that I'm like, how did this person get to, the status level that they're at? And it's obviously the content they're posting and they're being discovered. And Julie and I are relatively new in the YouTube world because, our channels were monetized in 2024 and we were working on it for a couple years before that, right? But some people have been on YouTube for like decades playing with it and building their audience, right? So we're literally playing catch up too. But it's a great time to be doing the YouTube stuff because eyeballs are going from traditional TV to social media, and it's just more and more and more eyeballs are coming to social media from traditional TV. So it's a great time if you're just starting out on YouTube. It's a great time to do it because you're going to be capturing even more eyeball as long as you commit to making your scripts and getting those videos posted and thrown up. Like you're going to have there's going to be an audience there for you, and it's just a matter of allowing your audience to find you through good titles and description and video quality, and asking the audience to subscribe and to share your content. So, um, anyway,
I want to bring up I know this is like not related, but kind of is related because what I talk about all the time, Mike, your charts. So, what I mean by that too is that sometimes taking, just like anything in life, the reason things don't necessarily take off immediately, and we might perceive some people like, wow, that happened really quickly for them, is it was just right timing for alignments in their charts, and astrology can totally make things happen quicker for some people and can also make things a little bit slower. And so that's why we often will see people where they've done 10, 20 years and then they finally take off. But then we can see the reverse where somebody, you're like, how did they just take off? Sometimes it is just the right timing, the right content, the right timing. And like Mike was talking about, just that right video that gets shared that takes off, right? So the most important thing when you're doing this is to keep it in mind that your goal, like make a realistic goal. I guess like since we are in January, having it not necessarily on views or likes or shares, but have it on something like your goal is to be seen, to have your content and on all these platforms, to be consistent, whatever that is, like Mike's saying, whether it's the once a week or however long you're going to be, and just have your signal, your content going out, because when it's your time, it's going to pay off. It's just being able to stay positive enough and consistent enough to when that happens. Now, of course, I can just promo, come and join my Awakened beta tester app because I am working on that still, which is all about helping kind of guide you on where you want to go and what timings help. But something else to keep in mind. Sometimes like we have been all of us collectively and at different levels the last year for sure, we have been very restrictive in creating. Not everybody's been feeling it the same way and to the same intensity, but some people it's been a lot more difficult. Like even if you're creating, you're not going to be seen. Vice versa, somebody else might be creating, but they're struggling getting seen, just not to the same extent. Now we're going into this year and things are changing, especially once we get in February onwards. So it is a really good time to get on the momentum of, whatever your charts will assist or could make more struggle. But if you're doing something consistently, it will pay off at some point once you've built that. I guess there's my motivational speech of look at your charts. And Michael laughed because that's all I talk about is charts.
yeah, well, it makes sense because you know I'm just trying to figure out why I can't share my desktop. I was going to show you, just give you like 20-minute rundown. Everybody's got access to ChatGPT, so everybody should. I don't know if you've played with Sora is one way to generate videos. I'm trying to share my screen, and because I've been sharing my screen on this MacBook before, it's giving me some hassle. But um, with the with astrology and charts, what my wife is tackling, almost everybody, like it's weird when I go to events. Obviously, I seem approachable, so people come and approach me. But typically, this always happens with I don't have men approach me, but women, ladies, always mostly like 90% of the time approach me like this. As you know, we're talking about business or what they're doing or whatever the case may be, or however long I've been in business. And then they ask me for my astrology sign. And I was like, yeah, no problem. And they're like, well, do you believe in this? And it's like, well, you're asking me, so I assume you believe in astrology, right? And they always really like my sign. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm aware of my sign. I'm aware of the horse. I'm aware of everything, and then I'm aware of, places you end up being. If you're meant to be there, you're meant to be there. If you're not, you're gonna there's gonna be something that happens in your life, like you're late, car accident. It's not if you're not supposed to be somewhere at a certain timing, the universe is going to say no, you can't go, or it's just bad shit happens to you. So I'm aware of things happening in the universe, and a lot of people will ask me about their astrology. And it's like, and this is the whole reason I'm supporting Julie on building her app is because she spent so much time, as a yogi, as a yoga instructor, going through that training, and there's all these overlapping things, right? So when we plan, like for example, when we plan our travel, we're like, hey, does this, based on astrology and based on a bunch of other things, we're like, okay, what time of day is good to travel? What time, is this area good weather? Like there's a lot of factors we look at before we decide to go to certain places, just because we know that there's certain places where you'll do better energy wise, money wise than other places. And this may be why some people seem to have a lot of luck, is that they were born in the right place, right time, and their astrology really works well for them. And other people are miserable because they're not supposed to be in that town, that city, dealing with the stuff that they're dealing with. But this is just what's happened in their life, and that's just where God put them. So they don't realize that there's an easier way to do stuff, but you have to be in tuned with astrology and other things. So anyway. It's interesting. I go to events and people always ask me about my astrology. They're like, "Oh, how do you know so much?" And it's just like I'm aware of it and I read a lot, and then a lot of things make sense. So anyway, I think my screen sharing is working. So I'm just going to show you Sora. I don't know if you've heard of Sora. Oh, there's a lot of videos you'll see on the internet where they look like they're AI, not quite the person who share you can tell things are off when people are sharing on videos these days, just because their AI version looks a little bit older, a little bit younger, doesn't look the same. Um, Stuff looks fake, let's just put it that way, but they're intriguing to watch. And the we've shared over the course of YouTube University, we've shared a bunch of AI video tools with you. So we've shared Syllabi. We've shared in video. I don't know if I showed you. I showed you the animation sample that I'm making for the kids coloring book. That was all done in Google Flow. I'm still working on that. I've made some progress with it, but it is completely infuriating at the same point. So, um, anyway, this is I don't know if you can see the top of my screen, but because the zoom tools are in the way. Okay, I'm gonna move that out of the way. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
We
Okay.
can
Okay.
just see the list.
Okay.
And
Okay.
this is on chat. Is that what you're saying? Is this where
No,
you're for?
it's a product from OpenAI. So
Okay.
ChatGPT would be their chat tool. They have obviously if you're working in ChatGPT all day, you can make images in there, PDFs in there. Adobe Photoshop's now in ChatGPT. So ChatGPT just keeps adding all these tools, right? Um, They added this, I don't even know. It's probably been almost a year now, but it just keeps getting better and better and better. Um, and I didn't even know you could do this on the desktop. I've been using my phone, which took a selfie of me, and but I'm like, I didn't even realize you could do this until somebody pointed out a couple of weeks. I've been planning to show you this for weeks, and then we've just gone on, off topics. And then Kristen made her series, so then we, so anyway, you can you can download this on your phone, but you can also use it in the browser. Using it in the browser, you get more ability to make more scenes. So just like we've said with YouTube, there's going to be desktop soft like any of these tools we talk about, there's usually desktop software and then there's mobile phone software. And the interface is going to be a little bit different and the features and the tools are going to be a little bit different. So you're just going to have to play with this stuff and learn how to use it and see if you like it or not. May just be for getting the creative juices going and making some videos and just testing stuff out. Because if somebody's like, "Hey, I made this," you're like, "Oh, that's our video," just so you can relate to content creators. Because there's a ton of AI stuff so much easier to make. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. But if you see, and you also have this time constraint where I think these are just pumping out 10-second videos. It says right here 10 seconds. So but you're really just describing what you wanted to make a video of. So I'm just going to run through a quick sample for you because I've not used this desktop storyboard interface. I haven't used it before, but I thought, hey, I've got a couple projects I'm working on, and it'd be cool to see what I can actually generate using this. So I'm just going to do something really simple. The it has a name right here, at Don't Get Hacked. That's my account name. So I've already attached my face to my account, so it's just going to generate whenever you use this at the at and the name is going to include you in the video. I don't think you have to include yourself in these videos, but my brand is my face, so I just include myself in everything that I make. Um, I'll just say teaching an in-person person cybersecurity and how to get hacked. Okay, so it changed the amount of time. Okay, so maybe the whole scene's 10 seconds long. I just realized after I typed that and went to scene two, it changed this from 10 seconds down to 5 seconds. Again, this is my first time playing with this format. If you do the videos on your phone, they're always 8 seconds long or 9 seconds, depending on how long it takes. This is really generic and not really specific whatsoever, but um oh, see, I didn't even know this option was here. So I got the option to make a portrait or landscape. So these are going to be You can't do it. I don't think you get this option on your phone. So this desktop's a little bit more. Um, I don't think I've ever done a landscape video with this. So let's do landscape. And then you've got options at 10, 15, or 25 seconds. Interesting. So what happens if I change it to 25? We'll see if it likes me or not. There we go. I've never made a 25-second video with this platform before. So let's hit create and we'll see if it complains or not. Then it gives me an error message that they can't be longer than 15 seconds, which, okay, whatever. You gave me the option. And maybe now I've broken it. Always the fun thing with doing things and testing them out to see how Great day work. And now I've lost the, okay, I don't know. I broke it. I broke it by trying it.
See, so you prove the point. Never do anything because then you can't break it if you don't try it, right?
This is the only challenge with any of this stuff, right? It's like realistically, if you're gonna choose something, you're gonna have to go and watch somebody's YouTube videos to figure out what you're doing wrong because this says it's in beta right there. So there may or may not be um, courses out there teaching you how to use this stuff or like a frequently asked questions thing or help or anything. Like a lot of this stuff, it's like, hey, creators, use these tools, share your videos. There's people I follow who make courses on how to do this stuff. I'm not recommending that you go pay for courses to do this stuff, but if you want to, you can. I just usually these AI tools change so much. So what happens is you play with them. You may feel like going to get a course, and once you get that course, you realize the layout of what they're showing you in the course may be different than what the software looks like today because this stuff always changes. But let me see if I can get something figure working here because I don't have this problem on my phone because you can't choose length of your videos. Okay, well, let's the zoom things in my way here. Let's delete that. Go down to 15 seconds. Let's see if I can even make a landscape video. Okay, it said it's added to the queue. So I've never done a landscape video with this before. And I haven't done a 15-second long video. Where the queue is a good question. I think it's usually under my face. Yeah, it's gonna be here. I built an app for you. So these are just sap. Anything. These are ones that I've made in the past, and it's gonna be annoying because it's gonna just autoplay the audio. So this is similar to the layout on the phone, where it will just. That's annoying. Okay, I don't think I can stop them from. And these are just all samples of. These are all AI videos that you can. If you're on social media and you see like this little cloud watermark popping around, they've all been made with Sora. There are ways to get rid of the watermark, but anyway, you've probably seen a ton of weird looking videos made on the internet, likely made with a tool like Sora.
Oh yeah, you're just proving that every video I've seen recently is completely fake. Because
I'm
I
telling you, I'm
there's so
like,
much that is like similar to this kind of stuff
I'm
we've seen.
saying that
We don't know
people,
what to believe anymore. It's over.
because it's not a challenge to make these videos, as you can tell, they're all 8 seconds long. These have been shared, so Jesus walking on water, 2.7 thousand likes, right? You can literally use this video tool and post right from it to your social medias. Now, are these getting views will get you traffic, but none of these creators are directing this traffic anywhere. Like, this one, I think it says it's for a TV show. I don't know if it's a real TV. This one in the bottom left-hand corner about the Thin Mints. I don't know if that's actually a real TV show or not, but that's one way to direct traffic to a certain place. But anyway, let me go I think I see the progress down
I'm
here. My
gonna
video
say
is
they're
half
thin
done.
mint. They're hoarding thin mints. Oh
Yeah.
my
So
God.
so these video generators, if you're using it on your phone, it's going to pop out 8 seconds. My example of doing it on the desktop or in the browser showed 15 and 25-second long. How you would make this into a longer video is you would make all these shorts and then slap them into a video editor and then edit them together. We've got a friend, Morris. I think he's shown up to the class once. He's in New York and he runs a furniture store. So he makes furniture, he reupholsters furniture, he makes drapes. They make a ton of stuff. He uses this every single. I see videos on Facebook every single day of him promoting his furniture skills. So for him, this is a great tool because he's the face of his business. You know he's into furniture because that's what he posts about every single day, and that's just where his creative juices are right now. He's like, hey, I can open up Sora, type something about furniture, it's gonna spit out a video in 5 minutes or less for me, and I'm gonna post that stuff, right? So the next level would be to take that video and slap it into your video editor and just put the domain of your website, your website name, right? That would take you an extra 30 seconds to slap it into a video editor on your phone or drop a QR code or drop your URL or just drop something. So when you're promoting yourself, people know the name of your business. So
What are they selling with that shirt with a massive band-aid in his crotch area? It's so distracting that one guy on the
it
far
says
right.
it's
Yeah, that one. What is going on there?
I know. It says it's a loft.
I am stuck on band-aids. Those
Oh,
band-aids stuck on me. Get the fuck away from me. I am stuck on
I
band-aids.
don't know. Anyway, thanks for pointing that out.
That's a factory default code from a cheap router. If I
well,
can
you
guess it.
left it rolling in the background, Mike. I'm laughing so hard. Thanks. Thanks.
That's a factory default code from a cheap router. If I can guess it, so can anyone else online. Today we're talking about how not to be that easy target. Step 1, use strong, unique passwords. No birthdays, no pet names. A passphrase like blue cabbage surf eagle is a lot harder to crack than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a factory default code from a cheap router. If I can guess.
So I gave it literally no instructions other than I was teaching an in-class cybersecurity course. And that's the type of video. And the interesting thing is, I think all the words are spelled properly. Congratulations to AI, it spelt words properly because that's been something you may have noticed over the last couple of years that we've had AI is that it really drives me crazy. So I try not to post anything with misspelled words. I know some people don't care. They'll just post whatever graphics for their business or whatever. And there's just some weird images or weird words or misspelled words because easy sign that's AI. Or people's faces are demented, or fingers are missing, or limbs are missing, or whatever. Like certain things you can get away with, and your audience won't really notice. But words, if people know how words are spelled, that's one of my pet peeves. So it's just me. But in this in this example, I'm like, I don't think
Anyone else online. Today we're talking about how
I
not to be that easy target. Step 1, use
look
strong.
good.
No birthdays, no pet names. A passphrase like blue cabbage surf eagle is a lot harder to crack than 1, 2, 3.
The audio's still a little bit fast, but it's better than it's been in the past. So I'll,
What's his
probably
example? Blue cabbage purple? What did he say? Or what did your avatar say?
The factory default code from a cheap router. If I can guess it, so can anyone else online. Today we're talking about how not to be that easy target. Step 1, use strong, unique passwords. No birthdays, no pet names. A passphrase like blue cabbage surf eagle is a lot harder to crack than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a factory default.
Blue cabbage surf eagle. There you guys go. That is the best password ever.
um I don't know. Is that 16 char that might be okay. I have to go validate it.
It needs some capitals and some numbers in there, maybe an
Well,
exclamation mark at
it's
the
more
end.
so it's more so the length. Yeah, so I would add in there one uppercase, one number, one special character. But it's really the length, right? You want to make sure you've got
that
That
is
just that's
I'm just
just
saying that
over.
is hilarious that AI that was the generated phrase. That's
But hey, it was right. It's longer than 16 characters, so it is an un. I didn't see. I'm just saying, as an example, I gave it no details, and this is what it. But also remember that I, when you're using AI tools, um, this is my don't get hacked ChatGPT account or the Sora interface to it. So for years, I've been talking to it about cybersecurity, so it may be somewhat accurate because I've been talking to it for years, and it's also the chat engine that's built into my app. So you never know. Like, this is a pretty good example. There's certain things where you're like, okay, um, the computer screen's facing the right way. I've had Sora videos that have generated with where the computer screen's facing the wrong way. So there's always things improve every day, just like your skills of making videos, making your um we just want to your skills are AI skills are going to improve every day, and we want your skills to improve every day. So just keep working on scripts, uploading your stuff to YouTube, writing titles, descriptions, your thumbnails, all that stuff. Just keep working on it because you're not gonna get success overnight. It's gonna take a while of making the YouTube content, adding stuff to your channel, and then promoting it, right? And a video that you make for your YouTube, you can also add that to your Google My Business listing, and then add that to your Facebook, add that to all your other social medias. Share those videos out and promote yourself. And so,
one last tip you should share is that one person you were talking to recently and how they were suggesting there's the video clips in the Google listing. Remember, you were talking about that and how it shows up automatically, and that's what they were putting was just so they didn't have a YouTube channel, but they had those short clips when they were on it, which I was like, oh, that should be everywhere. Remember, they're listening. You were telling me about that.
no.
Okay, well, you are telling me about somebody and how they were putting on their Google listings were short clips of them doing their jobs. So when you show up
Yes.
under the business, it shows like little clips of like whatever industry they were in, right? So like they can be making food or delivering food. You could see a little clip of that
They
and
both
how much that
they
helped their
literally
listing.
this comes Darlene and Jen had this person they know this
Okay.
friend. Well, they, so we've struggled mightily with Google My Business with our businesses, so hence um, I've always keep my Google My Business listings up to date, and I've added photos and videos to my Google My Business listings, but I need to go add more. But um, I know Darlene and Jen in their group that they have a friend who specializes in helping business. I didn't know there was a science to Google My Business. The science is
Mm-hmm.
add and edit your Google My Business every single week because it will pro you'll get the it's like you'll get all these invisible points. So when somebody is searching in your neighborhood for your business will rank higher than your competitor's businesses if your Google My Business listing is more up to date. So every time they send you an email, make sure you're responding and filling out your hours of operation, add a new photo, add a new video, whatsoever. Recently this week I know a lot of people in marketing and advertising, right? I'm trying to master it for myself. I've still not mastered it. Um, and he was showing an example of I Google My Business for a plumber and HVAC. And what they do is every time they go to a call, they record before and after. So they get to a house and it's flooded. They record it, they put a date and timestamp on it, location, address, they put all those details on it. And they've been uploading it to their Google business and they literally without paying extra for ads or placement on Google, in their neck of in their city, their listing shows up top because they've added recently all these videos of before and afters with timestamps. So it just makes them more legitimate because they're not uploading fake, or like they're not uploading a generic picture of a toilet. They're uploading a video of, hey, we showed up and somebody's house was flooded and we replaced the toilets. And that was the solution, right? Because your
Well,
customers,
it's ranking higher because people are going to be much more likely to click on something that has some kind of movement going on than a static page.
well,
So having images and having the video, and then I'm like, well, if they're not posting that online, like they're already making the content, it should be everywhere then, right?
well,
So not only are they
it should,
tracking on the Google, right?
this is what I brought up at when the YouTube training we had this week. After the breakout room was done and we went 30 minutes longer than I exited the meeting, but I said, okay, this is my like as a 40-year-old, this is how I view Google My Business. And this is when I'm in, I travel, so when I'm in a foreign city, in a foreign state, in a foreign place, and I'm looking for a service like a laundromat, gas station, a place to get tools. I'm going to go look at what you have in your town, your city, and I'm going to use Google My Business. And the business that has, I'm going to look through it like there's going to be 5 laundromats everywhere, 20 gas stations. I'm just going to go look at the reviews, good and bad, because not all bad reviews are bad reviews. It's just, somebody pissed off in that particular moment and they left a review. But I'm going to go look. And if there's photos of the building and videos, and there's just more, the ones that have more details are always going to be the first choice. And then as long as your hours of like we ran into one situation in Vegas where I'm like, hey, this place has awesome reviews, but the building doesn't look that great. But I'm like, hey, they're open 7 days a week. I need new suspension for my trailer. Their hours were wrong. They were still there, and they still got my business because they had the best photo. Like, it was just like a mom and pop shop. It was so cute. I was like, hey, I like these photos. All the reviews were great. Said they were open till 5. We got there at 4:30 as they were shutting down the business. And they're like, oh, why are you here? And I'm like, Google Maps says you're open till 5 p.m. Oh, we don't care about Google Maps. And I'm like, you should care about Google Maps because this is the whole reason I'm here today, going to spend 150, $200 with you is because Google Maps. So you should update your Google Maps because you don't know how much business, literally, you have this hidden audience, people who are how often do you need to go buy? How often am I going to need to go buy suspension parts for my trailer? Likely that not that often, but because I needed to, and you were here, and you've got the best reviews out of all the places in Vegas, I chose you, and I almost missed out. You almost missed the sale because your hours are wrong. So super important to keep things up to date and keep making content because you never know who your hidden audience is and when they're watching, and it's all at the end of the day, it's all about making sales and making new friends, and you know all these platforms are important, but it's more important for you to keep them updated and keep content going there, because if you meet somebody and say, hey, go look at my website, and they go and it's down, or they can't find you, it's you're promoting yourself and you don't have somewhere for them to go. So we need to build it and then promote it. But thank you all for showing up, and I'll see. I don't know if I missed any questions. I gotta go do a better job of promoting this class so we get more people in here. But thank you all for showing up.
Well, I think what's happening is every time you email that it's another week, everyone's realizing that they join because they're like, "Oh man, I haven't made anything, and it's another
Well,
week." And then Mike emails
we already
again.
had that. Well, I already had that comment this week. I've already had that comment this week. Like, are you kidding? It's week 35. I'm like, I'm not kidding. And the reason I put the week on the emails and on all the info, like, it's just because I want you to mentally accept that you're either working on something and you don't want any output feedback. You don't want anybody to know you're working on something in case you stop working on it. And then when you're ready to come and present, bring it, whether it's week 50 or week 200, you're going to show up with what you've created. And ask us to help promote it. It's the whole point of this group. The whole point of the Facebook group is to get in there and share your YouTube channel so we can give you some feedback or give you some advice or some help or get you to the, help you come up with ideas if you're stuck and not sure what to do. I am working on this coloring book. I need it finished because I got the source material in April and it's January, but I have to physically go to North Carolina and get the source material from her and get permission to do more. So, goal today is sit down after this meeting and finish animating this thing I've been working on for way too long, but the
She
technology
won't mail
held me
you.
back. So,
She won't mail you the stuff.
no, she's very old. So, and the problem
Well, I'm
is,
old, but I still mail it
I
to you.
know, but I was like asking and asking and asking. So what she sent me was really bad photos. So I've had a I generated the rest of it, and I literally just want the permission to keep making more story, but to make more stories so we can turn it into something like I want the physical copy so I can photocopy it and go list it on Amazon, right? So we'll have the videos, we'll have the books, and then we can, but you can't like I want to expand on the story and build that out as a you know, commerce thing, right? So I've asked and asked and asked, and she calls me randomly to say, "Hey, when are we going to be done with this?" And I'm like, "I'm doing all the work." So, and the AI tools weren't as advanced as I thought they were when we first started doing it. So I've just been pl spending hours and hours playing on animation, and it either does what I want or doesn't do what I want. So, um, I got to get better at that, but at least it's being created, and in the future it'll be way faster to whip it out. But I'm not gonna. Or I find somebody who can do hand-drawn animations and hand draw it, but that costs money. So until we have a way to make money with the project to pay artists and stuff like that, I gotta at least get it out and start. I'm like the co coloring book should be sold on, like all that stuff should be online and being sold, right? You can sell it as Kindle, you can sell it as a physical book. There's many opportunities, many things we can do with it, but I need the rights to I need the rights to it to produce it. So anyway,
Oh, okay, on Google.
yeah,
So my girlfriend says that if you have a review on there, you have to go and answer the review.
that
Have
would
you
be
know?
one of those that would be one of those hidden um points you would get for answering the review because
Yeah.
there's a lot of things in the Google ecosystem that we're not privy to. So there's the Google My Business, right? And
Hmm.
then adding, some people just get granted a Google My Business without having to do any work for it. So they get their business names added. They have a default photo of their house on the street. And like sometimes Google generates it for you, and sometimes you have to go through the work of adding yourself and supplying a business license and utility bills and all the other requirements Google gives you. So some people just leave them there and don't touch them. But you're not really going to show up unless somebody types in your street address, like, and especially if you get a lot of competition and the competition is spending money on ads, they're going to outrank you when people are searching for your business locally. But as you add descriptions, reviews, photos, videos, reply to reviews that you get, you're building up this invisible score at Google, which helps you outrank your competitors, right? So when they, yes, you're supposed to respond to reviews. And responding to reviews is the only way you can really get rid of fake reviews. Because if somebody leaves you a really bad review, you can get rid of it, but you're gonna have to open up a ticket with Google to say, hey, I've got whether or not, whether or not they were a customer. You got to prove whether or not they were a customer or not, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, yes, when you get a review, you should definitely be responding to it. Do you have reviews you haven't responded to, Darlene, or where did that question come from?
I have no idea.
I looked, I'm like, you guys have Get Deskey's got a Google my business thing listing, but I don't know if you've done much with it. So,
I don't know anything about it.
okay,
I'm
okay,
not the tech person. I'm the accounting person.
okay, okay,
I keep
okay,
telling everybody that, but I do a lot of the stuff. I would love to learn it, but
okay,
um,
okay. Well,
I
no,
want to
there's
learn
there's
YouTube first.
maybe you should ask for permission,
No.
add to it, add some stuff to it, right?
Well,
Because
here's the thing. If I touch it, then I get griped at.
oh, I get bitched at all the time for fixing stuff. I've
Have you
got
met my
people.
daughter?
Yeah, no, no. So we just got to gently nudge her to get this stuff done. So, okay. Well, because I know you made some. Have you tr you made those videos on NVideo? Have you tried to up? You still need hands on somebody to show you how to upload to YouTube?
Well, I don't, that is my personal channel,
Okay.
but I think we talked about having a what's happening channel. I don't know that we have that. And I think
Probably
that would
not.
help what's happening.
Um, well, maybe that would be. No, I agreed. I said for the what's happening, you should because you could just add how-tos on it. Like I know a lot of people are just gonna join a Facebook group and not really know how to use it or interact it or promote themselves using it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So um maybe I need to show you how to do some because I'm like you could really just maybe we need to come up with some hands-on stuff when we come back, or I'll show you how to make some videos on your phone of how to interact with the Facebook group, just as promotion stuff.
Well, I know how to interact with the Facebook group.
Well, I know, but you
You
may
don't.
need to add, like, make videos of how to do that, just so you're educated. Because you've got a large group, you got 20,000 members.
Mm-hmm. Well, we
So,
got 30, almost 30,000.
okay, I'm sorry, I don't know, but way more. I got 200 in my group, so you got way more. Are all those members engaged and actively posting or
I think when they need something in the town, they post it in there.
like when they're doing it in search of?
Like, um, who's the best doctor in town for, my kid?
Okay.
Allergies or something, and then all the moms, we don't answer it, all our people answer it. Like, I took him here, or,
Okay.
this is the best doctor I took my kid to.
Well, how are is it more are they more so using the group for that or is anybody like are any of the members promoting
Oh yeah, we have
sales that
promotions.
they have or anything new that's going on?
Yes and no. Some of them do
Okay.
and some of them doesn't.
Okay. Okay. Well, no, just as the information, you can make a little informational series or just, like in order to get more, usually in any type of group, in order to get any type of more movement, you just have to lead by example and say, hey, here's a little video of what you could be promoting, or hey, when's the last time you promoted your business? Because people need to, as a creator, you just need to give instructions to the audience because they've got a lot of things going on. But if they're paying to be in your group and promote themselves, they should be actively promoting themselves, right? But
Hmm.
people need to be reminded of what to do because we got stuff going on in our life, and the thing we're being reminded to do, we know we have to do that every single day, and you just don't do it because you got other things to do, and you're like, oh, I should really like I'm for like 3 days, like with our in-person workshop on February 10th, and then with me having the trade show booth March 14th, 15th, I'm like, I don't have any banners or promotional stuff at all for YouTube University at all. So I'm literally been sitting in Vistaprint trying to
Well, I have a
design
guy that
myself.
can do it for you.
Um,
He's here in town.
okay.
His
Well,
little
I'm
pop-up
still
thing
playing
is
with the
like
gra. I haven't
100.
ordered anything. I was still playing with the graphics because I just
Yeah.
went and changed all the I was like playing with ChatGPT, and I'm like, hey, I need high res graphics for this. And then I think the first graphic I generated 35 weeks ago for the class, I updated and it looks way better. But that's just the power of ChatGPT. No, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I've been playing with the graphics, and then it's been so I was like, okay, I'm almost ready to order something. I just haven't. So because I've been trying to get that figured out, and then I'm like, oh, worksheet and this and like all these things that I need for this class, which I haven't made yet. I've been planning to do it, but having the in-person workshops like perfect. I'm like, okay, now I need to make all this stuff for having doing in-person stuff, and it's perfect timing because I was planning to do it, haven't done it, and now I'm like, okay, let's just do it. Let's get it done. So
Now you have to do it.
I have to do it because there's a date. So we just have to find a location and then I can go and promote it. So
Yeah, we're working on that.
okay.
There's several places here in town. We just have to figure out which one. It really depends on how many people
Well,
show
I
up.
won't we won't really know until we're promoting it, right? So
Right. Jennifer already started promoting it.
well, I know I was gonna promote it. I just wanted to make sure I had permission to do it because I couldn't find it on
Oh,
Eventbrite. But then,
by all means, promote it.
okay, I'll do it.
But I'll send you the people that I do my sign with, and they're really good. They can get all their stuff. I think we paid like 150, maybe $200, but the sign was bigger than the one that we did two. So we did one from Canva, and then we did one with these people.
Okay.
But if you do the one with these people, if you want to change it, you can just send it back and redo it, and they'll rechange it.
Yeah. Most places will do that because you just never really know what the
Yeah,
print
but
quality
then you
when it
have to
comes
send it
out
back to
because the
Canva.
proof looks good, but when it actually gets printed on vinyl, it doesn't. Or I have, we have stuff for the don't get hacked business. I've got tablecloth. I got all the normal stuff. I'm just like, oh wait, I'm promoting a new brand, or at least using the new brand as the top of funnel to bring people in for you know, tech support consulting, right? Because more people are interested in content creation and getting coached through content creation than they currently are with tech support, just due to AI and
Mhm.
other factors. So it's like, hey, let's make. Anyway, class is
Yeah.
over. So great chatting with you. I'll talk to you. We'll see everybody next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern, and then I'll keep chatting with you over text message, Darlene.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. Have a good day.
Bye.
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 Bye.